This video is sponsored by Axotech Company.
Alright, let's play a game. I send you a new file. You double click on it. 5 seconds later, I will be your new roommate and also your new computer's owner. Today, we are diving into the world of remote access Trojans, better known as rats. We will program one, test it inside a completely isolated lab, and also then break down how cybersecurity professionals analyze these types of attacks and Trojans. Alright, let's see how dangerous a few hundreds of codes can really be. And today's victim is one of my own machines. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, before we start our main topic, let's just talk a little about our roadmap. Alright, for rats, we just need two types of code. First thing first, we need a sender, and also after that we need a receiver, okay? And now today we want to blend it with Python programming language as a rat. Alright, let's take a look at the client mode. So, the client is the component that runs on the remote machine, and its main responsibility, it's pretty straightforward, and also the only job is establish a connection and receive data from the commands. So as you can see here, we just use Python programming language for that, and at the top of the code we just import the libraries that we need, and throughout the project some handle networking and others execute system commands. So its only job is establish a connection and just wait for instructions. Sounds simple, and honestly it is. As you know, we just need to send for an IP, a special IP, that means our server, and after that on the server we can receive data and execute with commands from server on the victim machine. Next come the basic configuration and settings. This is where we define the server's IP address and also the communication port. I just set it on 4444, and after that I just set it a username and password for that, for a certification, and credentials and a few networking parameters. After that we just keeping these values in one place, as make the project much easier to configure and manage it. After that I just organize the client into separate sections based on functionality, and instead of putting everything inside one huge loop, and each feature has its own dedicated function. This is much better, and that keeps the code cleaner. So one of the biggest advantages of this approach is scalability, and if I decide to add a new feature in the future, I don't have to rewrite the entire application and this client mode. I just simply create another function and just add it into the commands after that. Alright, that was the client part. As you see, is the most job of this client mode is just establish a connection and keep the connection alive for communication between client and server. And it's just about that. Alright, now when our code from the client mode is ready, it's time to make our server part. Alright, now let's move on to the server. At the server, we have the server is where everything comes together. Its job is to wait for incoming connections, and the client process incoming data and send commands whenever they are requested. So at the server we just receive that and set our commands and execute our commands to send the data on the machine, and after that receive the result. So just like the client, I kept the code modular, and every major feature has its own function, whether it's file transfer, medias, captures, username, passwords, and also keyloggings, anything. And after that, that makes the project much easier to read, meaning, and expand over time, if you want to get it better on the future. So, but honestly, my favorite part isn't the, sockets or communication. It's the web dashboard. Instead of, interacting with the client through a traditional terminal, or I don't know, maybe CMD parameters, I just built a browser-based control panel, from one place, and I can monitor the connection, sending files, receiving files, comments, transfer files, capturing, get screenshots, trigger webcam and snapshots, anything on the real time. It's very simple on the GUI from CLI. And also it makes testing much faster, keeps everything organized, and provides much better user experience than typing every command manually. It's very simple and easier. In short, the server handles the communication faster, easier, and also the dashboard make that communication practical. Great, everything is ready, the sender and the receiver. So now this is the time that you wait for from the first of video, the test mode. Alright, now it's time for the fun part. As you can see here, we want to test it on our virtual machine first, and after that on a real PC on our network. So everything you are about to see happen inside my own isolated lab now, and using machines that I own and control. So first thing first, I just make sure both systems can communicate with each other over the local network, and verify that the environment is configured correctly. So first thing first, I just open CMD and use ipconfig tools to see what is my real IP. And after that, so first thing first, I want to see how many victims we have inside this network traffic. So I just open advanced IP scanner. This is very useful tool for that. So I just want to scan the range. So as you can see here, we have these victims here. So now I just know the receiver IP. This is my own system. So I just set it on client mode, the IP address. Alright, now I just run these client on my virtual machine. So here the client mode is running on the background. So from there I can interact with the client through the web interface, execute commands, browse responses, or anything like that. So I just came back to the server and open the dashboard. So here, as you can see, we have the successful text, and this is exactly why building a controlled lab is so valuable. So it allows you to observe how remote administration and Trojans analysis work in a safe. So now I can just use anything. For example, let's see which directory we have here. I just want to use whoami executable commands. Alright, we access anything, we can use anything in this laboratory. Alright, for a full test of this connection, I just want to get to a root directory, download a file, and after I just edit something on that file, I just want to upload it on the desktop on machines. So let's get started. Alright, as you see, I just get into the main root access, download the main file, edit it, and also upload it on another root file, master, for example, on desktop. And this is the full access control from the victim machine. And this is how a rat works. So now you know it and you can use it on your laboratory, on your attacks, anything. And also, as you know, this is from attacker's perspective. So now you can use it on your professional ways and also defend like a professional. Alright, thanks guys for watching this video, and in the next episode we will dive into one of the coolest topics on cybersecurity, vulnerabilities. So make sure to subscribe, to stick around, and also don't forget our rules, ride the wave of technology further.